Let me show you how to properly thread the needle on your mini sewing machine. But first also let me show you how to thread up the top part before I show you how to do it on the needle. So you see, we simply put our spool on this spindle over here. Also make sure to put up your presser foot to actually free up the tensioning disc, otherwise it won't properly thread. Next we can simply take our thread here, take it with one hand, push it down like this to be able to actually get it underneath here and through that tiny gap here. Next, simply put under it this tiny like knob here, so it's kind of spring loaded. Then feed it through this slit over here. By the way, when it comes to tensioning, make sure to set it maybe like level 4 to start it out, basically. So simply feed it through here like this. Then underneath here, so the number 2, push it up through this eye. Okay. So if you need to lift it up, simply like take this and turn it your way essentially, so clockwise. So again, simply stretch it a bit, feed it through here now, so the number 4. Next we need to actually drop the needle down, so again using this, simply drop it down so we have access to the hole. Next simply push it through this tiny hole. Okay. And next put down your presser foot and using this hand wheel actually get your needle up. So it's up basically, so we have access to the needle now. Also inside the box you'll find this threader as well, or you can also like thread manually if you have good eyesight. But I simply suggest to actually use this tool. So you see it has got this tiny frame, basically we can actually push it through the needle eye. So we are simply going to do it from the back to the front like this, and I'm simply pushing it through the eye of the needle here. So see how it looks like. Let me zoom in a bit. So you see it's through the needle eye, and next I'm simply going to take my thread here and push it through this frame here like this. Okay, and then you see I can simply pull this out, and also my thread actually comes out. And again, remember to actually feed your thread from the front to the bottom, so not from the bottom to the front, otherwise you'll have problems and it won't sew properly. So again, from the front to the bottom. And then also if you want to basically thread the bottom bobbin, also you obviously have to do that. So simply take your bottom bobbin here, position like this, so the thread is actually on the left side, and simply drop it inside. Okay. Yeah, and make sure it's making this letter P. So, and this thread hanging like this essentially. So then what we have to do is also put up your feet now at this point essentially. So basically with one hand we are going to hold basically this, so the upper thread, and with other hand we are actually going to basically turn this upper wheel here. So you see what, I hope you can see, probably not, but yeah, basically I'm holding this with one hand and basically turning it in my direction, and you see, okay, let's repeat this. So again, it didn't actually catch it, so you see I'm feeding it down and it's actually catching it basically here, and again pull it up. So let me show you up close. So again I have the bottom bobbin inside and dropping down, making the letter P. I'm holding it with this hand, basically this upper thread, so through the needle that goes, and again I'm simply turning my turn wheel manually. I see the needle is dropping down and essentially now catching up this like white bottom thread for me, and also like pulling it through. Next I can also take my scissors, simply put it down underneath here and fish out basically both threads. So you see, yeah, okay, and then I can essentially drop down my foot here, replace basically this cover here, and I'm good to go. Okay, good luck.